welcome back. It's Wednesday and the 12th and a whole lot of ground to cover this evening. I like to think of it more as updates than excuses when I have to open the program with remarks as I am about to do. I know there are still some sound issues, and I've been getting phone calls, 4 or 5 just today, and it's been that many or more every day about the audio issues on Channel 40 on Foothills, and I know they're working it out, and I know I've said that, but indeed, bear with us. Please bear with us. They are just about to get it all fine-tuned, and we're trying to work through that just as quickly as possible. I'll let you know, and you'll probably know before I when it is actually taken care of. But keep us informed. Let me know when there are some issues, because that's the best and sometimes the only way I do have in knowing. My schedule for today did not work out in any form or fashion as to what it was supposed to be. For the second day, I'd made efforts to go over to the Christian Appalachian Project and find out more details about that burglary that took place there, of course, night before last. I've spoken with the Johnson County Sheriff's Department, but with a whole lot of other news coming into the office, and this being a one-man show, an operation for 99.99% of the time, I'm yet to make it. I do need to pass along a brief description. I know it's out there in social media and elsewhere, but just to make mention, they've been investigating it quite thoroughly, and in fact, I know they were on the case yesterday morning from 10 o'clock in the morning till around 7 or 8 last night, and picked it back up today. But the subject pickup truck right now they are searching for is a late 80s, early 90s full-size Chevy pickup truck, possibly GMC, but we think Chevy. It's a two-wheel drive, it's a long wheelbase, and it's light blue in color. It has some other distinguishing marks. It's discolored in some areas. There's also said to be a dent in the right front bed area near the passenger door, a crease and a dent under the passenger side door. It has a chrome front bumper, and it appears to be light blue in color. Now, that is what they have to work on, other than the fact of some video, which does exist. However, the two suspects are masked and gloved, and you can see very little of anything as far as descriptive markings. However, they are working on some leads and hope to get more from the public. If any of that matches a description of anybody or anything that you may have seen, 789-3411. They came in, cut their way in, took out a truckload of tools and other materials, which were all destined for the most part for flood victims and other individuals who desperately need them through the efforts of the Christian Appalachian Project. We will talk more about that tomorrow, hopefully an arrest or two in the case, but for now, that is all indeed I have. Now, while we're talking about, as I was at least in brief, the efforts of flood relief and cleanup, finally some good news. A segment of a meeting that I was going to air tonight would have been Judge Tucker Daniel of Johnson County in this week's Johnson County Fiscal Court meeting, updating the court and everyone in the audience that to that point there had been no update and no word from FEMA. However, just earlier today, an official word did come down, and they received the designation that everyone has been waiting for and basically expecting. During this week's regular session of the Johnson County Fiscal Court, some big news for, I don't know how many, but a vast number of residents, definitely in the Van Leer and other adjacent areas, about a sewer expansion project that just kind of happened by happenstance. That was just one of several items of business that were discussed in the meeting, and I'll give you an update on those in just a few moments, or not, excuse me, not tonight, but at a later time, hopefully starting as soon as tomorrow. Tonight, though, we want to just make mention of the disaster declaration. 24 hours ago, residents, city, county officials were all still waiting more than a month later after the terrible and tragic floods that claimed 4 lives in Johnson County and destroyed so many homes and businesses. There was still no word from the federal government on any type of assistance. Judge Daniel in the meeting did discuss debris removal. It started Monday, where residents are asked to push as much of the debris as close to the right-of-way as the road as possible, separate it into construction debris, vegetative debris, appliance debris, if you will, and then chemical debris such as propane tanks or cleaners or things of that nature. But they were still awaiting word, as he mentioned in the meeting, that they had been waiting for more than a month, and that was an official declaration from FEMA. There were some ifs as to whether or not it would be a declaration. There is a threshold of monetary value that the state has to experience as far as destruction is. It's a $6 million threshold for the entire state. It doesn't have to be just in one area, but for that particular set of storms or storm systems. Well, he did reveal that that number had surpassed the $11 million mark and counting, adding up all of Johnson, Rowan, and the other counties' destruction. And then just earlier today, taking more than a month for the red tape to make its way through the administration and across many desks and entities, President Obama did declare a major disaster in Johnson and the other counties of Kentucky which were so affected, paving the way for federal aid to help with individual recovery efforts and that of local and state governments after the flooding and all of the subsequent situations, the mudslides, things of that nature that all took place around the week or so beginning on July the 11th. Federal funding is now available to affected individuals in Johnson as well as Rowan, Trimble, and Carter counties. Federal funding is also being made available at this time to local governments, city and county governments, as well as some nonprofit organizations that did a lot of repair or work, and they will be reimbursed on a percentage basis, I do believe. That is a much broader area. We're talking several counties. We're talking Bracken and Breathitt, Carroll, Carter, Clay, Cumberland, Estill, Elliott, Fleming, Floyd, Henry, Jackson, Johnson, Knott, Lawrence, Lee, Leslie, Letcher, Lewis, Lincoln, Magoffin, Menifee, Montgomery, Morgan, Nicholas, Owsley, Perry, Robertson, Rockcastle, Rowan, Spencer, Trimble, Washington, and Wolfe. All those counties are available as far as state and local governments are concerned to recoup some costs as far as damages or services outlaid are. FEMA has said that you can start to apply for assistance beginning tomorrow at these particular links: www.disasterassistance.gov, and there's also a 1-800 number, 1-800-621-FEMA, that you can call. They will give you prompts or individuals that will direct you from that point further. For Johnson County, it is expected that FEMA representatives will be coming into Johnson County. I have put out a few feelers, and I'm told that they expect them to be there and set up shop, so to speak, sometime next week. The time and location of which I will announce just as soon as it's forwarded to me here at the studio. Follow up, one of possibly several tonight, or at least throughout the rest of your week. There has been an arrest made in a case involving a theft of a stolen purse in Magoffin County. I brought you the security footage as it was given to me by the homeowner, and it showed someone pulling onto the property in a pickup truck, and then after several minutes on the property looking around under the cloak of darkness, they helped themselves to a purse and its contents worth more than $1,000. The Magoffin County Sheriff's Department says they have made an arrest in the theft case on those felony theft charges. Wednesday night of last week, David Chadwick Coffey, says that someone in this pickup truck, the driver of which seen getting out here, pulled onto the property where he resides on New 460 near the old skating rink facility. It was there that the security surveillance system captured the individual walking around, looking around, shining a flashlight, ultimately going to a vehicle belonging to Coffey's fiancée, Leanna Wells, which was parked outside. You can see him entering the vehicle, removing what looks like her purse, and then leaving in what appeared to be a 99 2000 model or roundabout Chevy extended cab pickup truck. Magoffin County Sheriff's Department and Deputy Neil Adams, who was investigating the incident, told me earlier this week that they had several good leads and a good description of the individual seen in this video, and that they have since made a subsequent arrest. Now, after stealing a purse with the belongings, which was said to have been valued at $1,036, there has been a felony arrest warrant which has been executed and an arrest made for who police say was responsible. The Sheriff's Department says that the man seen in this particular frame of the security surveillance video is 40-year-old Sigsby Rao, who has been charged with theft by unlawful taking over $1,000 and criminal trespassing. He is also still in the midst of charges that relate to an indictment warrant as it pertains to a police chase that he led authorities, local and state, on for several miles several months ago before being arrested for DUI and other traffic-related charges. To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband. The next report is a follow-up with more follow-ups to come. It is a report of 3 arrests that have taken place. I spoke with McGoffin County Sheriff Carson Montgomery. We're set to talk tomorrow and get more information about the charges and the investigation, but I can tell you at this time that 3 men, 1 from McGoffin County, 2 from elsewhere, have been arrested as it pertains to the theft of well more than a dozen horses from a particular part of the county. 3 different landowners, possibly the victims of the horse and possibly livestock thefts that have been ongoing for some time. Seen here on their way to the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center after being arrested at the McGoffin County Sheriff's Department, 2 men, Jason Adkins in the baseball cap and brown shirt to the right, and Elvis Rose from Owen County, Adkins from Harrison, turned themselves in today to the Sheriff's Department after it was made aware to them that they were about to be arrested. They and another man, a 3rd individual from McGoffin County, are accused of going on multiple occasions beginning on July the 29th through the head of the Craft Creek area in McGoffin County onto property owned by possibly 3 different landowners, using gates and corrals and trailers to rustle, if you will. So far, we know of 16 horses, possibly a cow, says Sheriff Montgomery. The 3rd individual arrested, already in the Big Sandy jail as of this morning, taken into custody at his residence, was identified by Deputy Neil Adams as an L.G. Adams who lives on Jim Arnett Branch. Deputy Adams and Sheriff Montgomery both say the investigation is ongoing. They're still working hard to determine exactly how many animals were involved, but it's believed they were taking the animals from there to another location. The exact reason for which, resale or what have you, is still unknown. The investigation is ongoing. We hope to know more tomorrow about the charges and the entire situation. The McGoffin County Sheriff's Department has also reached out to us in hopes of locating a McGoffin County man who eluded them on foot yesterday evening. It goes back to a case in Prestonsburg several days ago. It was at the Honda shop of Prestonsburg where business owners and employees with the shop say 23-year-old Terry Neal Porter came into the establishment, spoke with 2 or 3 different salespersons, and then in the blink of an eye jumped on a 2014 Honda CRF 150 valued at about $4,500 and fled off not to be seen again. The motorcycle possibly was spotted in some areas of Floyd County shortly thereafter, but no positive ID. The Prestonsburg Police Department has a felony theft warrant in the name of Porter. However, when deputies who say that Porter is from here went to the residence of a family member yesterday, they say that upon opening the front door, they saw him dash out the back, and he has not been seen since. They're hoping that the public will help find him and give the Sheriff's Department some information about his whereabouts. Once again accused of stealing a 2014 Honda dirt bike from the Honda shop several weeks ago in Prestonsburg. In case you missed the FEMA contact information a few moments ago, here it is again, and then we'll be talking about it more tomorrow with FEMA representatives set to come to Johnson County, possibly as soon as next week. The number is 1-800-621-FEMA, that's 3362, or you can go to disasterassistance.gov. For now, let's go on over real quickly to tonight's community calendar, brought to you by McGoffin Farm Bureau, and I know, it starts off with a birthday wish. And here's how it reads. I have this sent to me by Job Thomas Patrick, who wants to wish his mom a happy 30th birthday. And with a whole lot of love and best wishes from Job, Haley, Mom, Dad, Tracy, and Gary, and a lot of family. Happy 30th birthday to you, Mom. From a whole lot of family who love you lots and want to say happy birthday to you. A whole lot of announcements for a little later on, but tonight just one that's really time sensitive. A reminder about the 3rd annual bass tournament this Saturday at the Alfrey Boat Ramp on Cave Run. Starts that night at 6 p.m., sponsored by the Elk Creek Free Will Baptist Church. You can register the day of or call the numbers on the bottom of your screen. And be sure and call me whenever you've got a birthday, an anniversary, or a calendar announcement for your club, church, organization, nonprofit, what have you, and we'll tell everyone about it. We've done it for free for a long, long time, 17 years now nearly, and you can get it to us any way you like, and always, of course, you can drop it off here at the newsroom, our studio located on East Maple Street above the Sagersville Post Office. To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband. Stories you just so want to share. The Red River Gorge in all of its beauty can be just as dangerous as it is beautiful. 29,000 acres, 20 square miles, a phenomenal geologic area, and the terrain that is not forgiving. It can and has proven dangerous and deadly for visitors from all over the nation and all around the world who come to this part of Kentucky. Most recently, a Madison County man, Josh Adkins, who has been the subject of a search since the 1st of this month. In the past few days, 24, 48 hours, that search was starting to look very grim. And then this morning, he showed up walking along Kentucky 15, was picked up, and was said to be miraculously in pretty good shape. And that came, to be honest, to the surprise and delight as well of members of the Wolfe County Search and Rescue Team, and I'm sure family, obviously, and friends of Josh Adkins. I spoke with John May, a friend of mine actually who's a member of the Wolfe County Search and Rescue Team, and he says they had not given up hope, but it was certainly looking like a grim situation, and he was very surprised to hear that Adkins could last for as long as he did and be in the condition that he was found in this morning.
And we searched Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and temporarily suspended the search on Thursday and Friday, and regrouped on that Saturday, which was August 8th. And we had, on that particular day, we had 135 searchers along with 16 dogs, cadaver dogs and air scent dogs in the area. Actually mapped out, quadrants throughout the gorge, and gave a very extensive search. And unfortunately, we were unable to locate him on that day. But we've averaged anywhere from 80 to, 130 or so searchers, during each day during that search period. Very amazing to me that someone could survive 12 days, in a wilderness area with no provisions or shelter to speak of. That's quite a feat on his part. He did say that the last 2 days he was able to get some corn and apples. Now, I'm not exactly sure where he came up with those items because the gorge doesn't really have apples or corn growing wild, so it must have been, as he was coming out, he came across, a farm or something along those lines where he was able to get some of those resources.
May says that just yesterday they were informing the family that they were waiting any new leads that they could go on after exhausting all efforts in searching as much terrain as possible over the course of the past several days, and that it was understandable that many were starting to fear the worst.
I was very surprised. I'm still very surprised. And the longest search that we have had in the past was 4 days, and that gentleman was found in extremely poor condition. He was an Alzheimer's patient and had been in the gorge for 4 days. It was in July, so the temperatures were a bit warmer. But, we've never had anyone that's been missing actually in the gorge for this period of time. So quite surprised. There's plenty of water to drink. Comes with some risk, drinking water that's not been treated. But he was able to survive, apparently, for that long a period with very minimal resources.
In the end, nearly 12 days later, Adkins was seen by some folks with Halsey's meatpacking plant near Pine Ridge, walking down Kentucky 15. They did a double take, came back, made a positive ID, helped him, took him back, dehydrated, tired, hungry, weak. But look at him. He's smiling, and so are his family. An amazing story. 24 agencies at one time, I remember, on the ground. They were using everything from dogs to drones to manpower to everything they could to no avail. And he showed up pretty fine and dandy. Just a quick reminder about what's going to be peaking tonight. The Perseids, the best Meteor show that they have given us perhaps maybe in 8 to 10 years, maybe for that many more to come. We are on the verge of a new moon. We're going to have dark lit skies. We're going to have perfect conditions. Get a blanket, get a lawn chair, Go out, lay back, find you a nice dark spot. Look to the northeast, but don't keep your eyes focused in that one direction. They'll be radiating from all over, as this is going to be one of the, and I so have touted this and so have been burned by Mother Nature so many times in the past. But this promises to be a really great meteor shower. I'm going to spend the next several hours after I get off the clock here trying to get ready. I'm going to do my best to capture some. Photographs of meteors, terribly hard to do. Video, even worse. We'll make some efforts tonight to see what we can come up with in hopes of having some shots like this on tomorrow's program. But after midnight tonight, up through the early morning hours, it's a great show. I didn't go out last night and look. They were visible then. And Jupiter, which is going to be a little closer, is also going to give us a bit of a gravitational pull or a push towards the Earth's surface. So a whole lot of factors saying that this really could be a great show. And you'll not just be able to see it tonight, but also tomorrow night as well. Maybe up to 120 per hour is what they're predicting, though, for its peak tonight and in the morning. A few more things before I close. To be honest, I have to say this. If nothing else happened the rest of this week, I think I have more news than I can work in the final 2 days. Yeah, and we know something else is going to be happening headline-wise. And some follow-ups, of course, as well. I've already got scheduled interviews for tomorrow. But now let's wrap it up. Oh, two more things. I've got a football announcement for you in just a second. But first, let's take a glimpse at your Licking Valley RECC forecast. No major revelations here in comparison to 24 hours ago, just to say that it's still perfect. Perfect. And I like using that word. You don't get to do so with the weather forecast all that often. Tonight, after 86 today here at the newsroom for daytime highs, we should see 58. A little patchy, dense fog sometime around 1, 2 in the a.m. Tomorrow, that fog lingering in your Thursday morning. Otherwise, mostly sunny, right around 80 degrees for daytime highs tomorrow. It's going to be cooler, but it's going to be nice. And that 86 today was pretty much out in the sun here at the studio. If you were anywhere in the shade, not quite that warm. At least it didn't feel as though. Friday, fog to start. Picking up to about 84, more sunshine, more clear skies. We'll see the lower 60s, I think, for nighttime lows on Friday night. And Friday Night Football, is it too early? I'll tell you in a second. Saturday, I think, for your weekend conditions and temperatures improving, mostly sunny, 85, 65. I didn't change Saturday's forecast at all from what I had 24 hours ago. Still picture perfect. 85, 65, 20-degree difference. Mostly sunny, a few clouds late. Sunday, we just still have mostly sunny skies. Temperatures creeping up to around 87. Still perfect. I do have the only bad part, if I have to say there is one, showers and thunderstorms, a threat of which only 20%. It's making its way into next week's forecast a little earlier. Instead of Tuesday, it's backed up to about after 3 o'clock Monday afternoon. I'm sorry, can't do much about it, but maybe something will happen between now and then and it'll push off. And it's not a great threat, 20%. And it's all I've got is 20% for next week thus far. Nevertheless, a beautiful evening for the Perseids. It's a beautiful weekend in store. And we're starting off next week on a pretty nice note, too, I think. Closing a sports announcement, Montgomery County High School football team has a scrimmage set for this Friday, hosting Allen Central. And, oh, by the way, if you want to catch a little more high school football action, and for our fans from Paintsville, they've got a Grittorama. Now, Paintsville has been practicing this summer on the Montgomery County High School football field. I hear theirs is just in really poor shape, and they're trying to get it back to playable conditions as best as possible. But they're having a Grittorama with two other teams on Saturday. Don't know who the teams are as of yet, but they are playing Saturday. And once again, Montgomery County High School has a scrimmage this Friday hosting Allen Central. Kickoff for regular season will be here very, very soon. Excitement is building. That's all I've got time for. Certainly, without a doubt, not all the news I have. I'll pick it up when we see you back here next time for more Your News Today. Thank you so much, as always, for watching and being a part of the show.